Ooh, Captain America 4. Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. And indeed, this is a live news show for movie fans, where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day, including Indiana Jones 5, Oppenheimer has a runtime, Dungeons & Dragons is coming out this week, and John Wick 5. Is it possible? Is it possible? I'm not sure, but we'll start off today's show by talking about the main big headline that started off last night with Captain America 4 and Liv Tyler returning to the MCU after 16 years for Captain America 4 as Betty Ross. So this is going to be interesting, guys, because, well, she hasn't been in the MCU for 16 years, but her father, who was played by, is now going to be played by Harrison Ford, because, the other guy passed on, so that kind of sucks, right? Why am I just drawing a blank on that guy's name? Okay, so, that's the big news yesterday. And why am I just drawing a blank? No, not Tim. Why am I thinking? Okay, guys, you say everything in here but his name. Just jump out at me. Jump the name out of me. Where's his name? Okay, Thunderbolt Ross. You're not going to give it to me here. You're not going to give it to me here. You even give Tim Roth there. All right, fine then. William Hurt. There we go. Why am I was thinking Tim, because I was thinking Tim Roth. William Hurt passed on too. So, what a great way to start off the show, by me fumbling the ball right off the bat. It's just William Hurt's name is I always get. Anyway, it's cool that she's gonna be back. I like Liv Tyler. I think everybody likes Liv Tyler. Yeah. So, guys, hey, if she's gonna be back in it, I got no problem with that. It's going to be curious, though. Does that mean that Hulk is going to be in this? Does that mean Mark Ruffalo is going to be in this? I guess that's what it's sort of like. I can't fathom another reason why she would be in it. Now, we know it's because maybe the bad guy who played the leader is going to be in this in the first Hulk movie. And we know the father's going to be in this. That's now going to be taken over by Harrison Ford. So, why took MCU to bring her back? Because, well, they don't have the rights. It's a rights issue for the Incredible Hulk stories. It's, they can't make a single Hulk movie or something like that without getting special permission. I don't know. That's why we're not going to get the Incredible Hulk 2. And the thing is that as Incredible Hulk never really landed with a lot of people. Abomination is returned in Shang-Chi, and we knew in She-Hulk as well. So that's all going to be coming back. Okay. I got no problem with that. But and it's prompted other people, like on the other sites, to say Captain America 4 is basically Incredible Hulk 2. Right? Well, that's the way that it's shaping up. And if you're going to make that comparison, fine. I made a short yesterday of in the MCU and the need for everything to be a trilogy or like even 4 movies, where I made a point where, like, even Thor, a staple in the MCU, Thor: Love and Thunder was not very well received by the fans. It's starting to outstay its welcome. And I know that Captain America 4 is rebranding here with this guy taking on the mantle, Anthony Mackie, Falcon, taking on the mantle of Captain America. And I really hope they update his suit, because it just looks clunky. I don't like it. The shoulders are too big, and it just doesn't look all that comfortable to wear. So I really hope they update it. But yeah, if you were to tell me that, hey, this sounds more like an Incredible Hulk sequel than it does Captain America, I guess I couldn't complain that. Yeah, Tim Blake Nelson. He's playing the leader, right? So he'll be back in this. Liv Tyler and then Thunderbolt Ross, the character, is coming back. So, yeah, very much like a Hulk story. How Captain America 4 can continue talking about the leader. What does he do? Becomes like a villainous guy recruiting people for his agenda, I suppose. Will Hulk and She-Hulk. She-Hulk. Ooh, well, if Abomination shows up, because we know that it's possible, she is his representative, right? Legal representative. The thing is that he was a pretty badass character in the first movie, Tim Roth, and then they kind of like really mellowed him out, and that made a lot of people angry for a She-Hulk. Like he became, what was it, kind of like a beatnik. Yeah. So Captain America: New World Order comes out next year, May 3rd. It's saying right there. I don't know. Let me just pull up the IMDb for this, because I don't think they've got anything concrete here. Full cast and crew. No, I don't want the full cast and crew. I just want this page. New World Order. Are you guys excited about this? For me, it's just kind of like meh. I'm not really that excited about it. There's like, it's cool to have Liv Tyler back and stuff. Well, Sebastian Stan is said to be in this. I never watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and that's going to be a problem for a lot of people too. So somehow they're going to have to recap how Anthony Mackie. Well, I guess at the end of Endgame he was handed the shield, but they'll have to somehow summarize the events that happened in Falcon and Winter Soldier, because people will just be kind of like, what? Huh? What's going on here? So yeah, the cast, Sebastian Stan is going to be back. Oh, it's rumored. It's rumored. Yeah. So that's not concrete yet. Shira Haas. Okay, so there are some other people here. Carl Lumbly filling out the cast. Tim Blake Nelson. Yeah. Honestly, guys, I got to tell you, I'm just. A lot of it has to do with kind of like the Ant-Man fallout and what's happening with the Marvels getting pushed around and the sequelitis. I feel like I myself am starting to feel that fatigue. And it, well, they say, well, it'll change when you all, when you get a good movie. But the thing is that they're not connected to each other. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is good. That's the final one in that series. We're not getting any more of that one. That's not going to ramp me up to see Captain America, Captain Marvel 2, or Marvels, or whatever it's going to be called, because it's going to have nothing to do with each other. It's just going to be like, meh, oh, it's there. Yeah, so that's what's happened in this phase. Everything's so all over the place, and well, Feige said wait for like the end of Phase 5 and it'll all make sense. No, I don't want to wait to the end of Phase 5 for it to all make sense. I want it to make sense now. Yeah. So anyway, cool news that Liv Tyler's back. Betty is going to be surprised. Bruce has had a facelift. Artglass says, yeah. Artglass also says, I enjoyed the ending and training montage of Anthony Mackie's Captain America series. I'd be okay with the action if he continued the same vein. Okay, well, yeah, so you watched it. I have access to it. It's just sitting there. I have no plans to watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier. No plans. Why? Guys, I was team Captain, I was team Iron Man. I'm team Tony Stark. If you've watched my coverage of Civil War, you know where I landed with that. And I agree with Tony. And some people just look the other direction with a lot of what Captain America did in regards to Bucky. So that's why I'm probably not gonna that's why I'm not watching Falcon and Winter Soldier. Okay, so there it is. I know people will get thumbs down because of that, but hey, it is what it is. He killed Tony's parents. I don't care if you say, well, that wasn't him. Sure looked like him. Yeah. Anyway, that's an old fight. That's an old fight. An old argument that needs to be retired. Um, anyway, Bucky may not even be in Captain America 4. Let's move on to John Wick 5. Well, John Wick 5 back on the table after box office blow up. Yeah, as I said this yesterday too, right? With the trajectory going up like this, because as I said, the first John Wick was 14 million at the opening. Number 2 was 30 at the opening, and number 3 was 56. John Wick 4 had like 74 million at the opening box office. So it's kind of like numbers are going like this. Executives are going to say, we're going to make it no matter what. Regardless. Well, unless Keanu Reeves says no. But I think, what if Keanu says no? That's what, and I hope he says no. Because they ended it perfectly. We're all going to take a tiny rest here and then scratch at ideas whether there's a creative way to get into 5. But there's no guarantee. It says Lionsgate Motion Picture Group President Joe Drake. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, we know that this was going to happen. The money's there, and money talks. But his story is complete. Like, it is complete in an awesome way. And doing 5, there are some ways to work around it, like with flashbacks and stuff. I just, I'm not up for it. I'll put my foot down here saying, no, I'm not up for a John Wick 5. That a John Wick 5 is no longer out of the question. There's a will and then there's an openness, and you could certainly interpret that ending in different ways, said Drake. We're all going to take a tiny rest here, then scratch at ideas whether there's a credible way to get into 5, but there's no guarantee. Yeah, you got to. It's kind of like, here's your cash cow. Here's the thing that makes money for you. Are we really going to say no to it? That's what you kind of do with art, right? Eventually, sometimes you just peak and that's it. That's all you get. But if you just run the risk of running it into the ground. And I don't want to see that happen to the John Wick franchise. Because if they ended it now, they end out on the high note. You won the Super Bowl, right? With John Wick Chapter 4. It's got great reviews. Everybody loves it. And it's an awesome ending, man. It's an awesome ending. It's very poetic. And as I said, there's other ways for you to continue on with John Wick appearing in stuff, but his story as a whole, like, what else are you going to dredge up? The table wants to come after him again? They just pardoned him. They gave him his freedom. So it's kind of like, what else are you going to tell? Right? So, yeah. He is in Ballerina, interestingly, in a very strategic ways. Yeah, so he does appear in Ballerina. That's spin-off. So, I know that Chad had a bunch of really cool ideas. So maybe Chad Stileski is the director. So we'll have to see. Drake alluded to a prequel as a possibility, noting you could certainly go earlier with the story. Earlier. So like a prequel, they would have to use de-aging technology on him, showing him what he did all before John Wick, the first one. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. Yeah, I'm not on board for that. John Wick 5, though, it's going to be bouted around. It's going to be the talk of the town for sure. It's a cool little side story here. Donnie Yen, who is in John Wick Chapter 4, blasts Tarantino's depiction of Bruce Lee in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I guess he didn't like his... Now, I didn't mind Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It wasn't Tarantino's best film. It's actually quite low on the ladder for me for Tarantino films. I didn't hate what he did with the Bruce Lee scene. A lot of people did, and I guess Donnie Yen is one of those people. And I respect Donnie Yen for sure. I respect his opinion. So what did he say? He said everybody is entitled to their opinions. Quentin Tarantino is a very renowned filmmaker, and he's entitled to his status. And I'm entitled to state my own view. Obviously, he was making fun of Bruce. It was cartoonish. Yeah. If you remember, it was a fight scene with Brad Pitt's character. And while I heard that actually happened in real life, Brad Pitt, let's see if I can pull up an image of that. It was a little bit cartoonish. I could see that people, like, I see all the complaints for it, for sure. I can see, like, and like the family members, they didn't like it that much either. Just because it just painted him kind of like as an arrogant kind of macho fighter that was only about him kind of thing. But we've all heard the reports that Bruce Lee was sort of like, there was not a hubris, but kind of like an uppity-ness to him. Like, I know best. I only know the best way for kung fu. I only know the best way for fighting. And I thought that that's what that scene was trying to convey, is that, yeah, you are a great martial artist, and he was, but when it comes down to it, there are other fighting techniques that, you know, and smarts, like he uses his wit here. He lets them knock him down. He outthinks them, and then he throws them, right? And I guess a lot of people didn't like that being shown, that he was being kind of schooled. I guess, yeah. They didn't like the fact that Bruce Lee was being portrayed as being schooled, because, again, he was like he was supposed to be like the know-it-all, the top talent, right? And yeah, the family members didn't like it. So I just thought that was kind of a curious kind of pull. And I respect Donnie Yen's opinion on that. I didn't have a huge problem with that scene. I didn't. But, hey, it is what it is. Okay. Where are we at? Fast 10, China release. Ooh, okay, this is kind of cool. Little Mermaid and Fast 10 cleared for China releases. So the Little Mermaid here, I actually think it's going to do okay in China. I got my fingers crossed, because I said yesterday, the Chinese box office, they like that kind of weird, abstract kind of storytelling, like the Avatar movies and such. So they may have a higher appreciation. They won't be as critical as people here in North America about the Little Mermaid. I got high hopes for the Little Mermaid. Fast 10, it's going to make its money. I'm not that worried about that. They like the action. So China's opening up its doors for a few more domestic releases, and those two are cleared for China's box office, which is good. Fast 10 is just around the corner, right? Jason Momoa recalls thrill of doing his own stunt driving for Fast 10. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I want to see how he is as a bad guy. The trailer got me interested. I'm still not big on Dom as a character. They just made him too cartoonish. And then I'll be brutally honest too. I was never. I became a very much less of a Vin Diesel fan when I heard those reports of, oh, he can only be punched so much on screen. Oh, he can't be beaten up on screen. Like, those were stipulations in his contract. He can't be, like, when he was fighting The Rock, he could only be hit once or twice. It's like, what? You do what the story calls for, man, not what your public image dictates. But anyway, enough of me ragging on Vin Diesel. Let's see what he says here. This is full adrenaline. It rules, riding around cobblestone streets in Rome that have centuries of wear. So you stop, you slide. One of your producers was like, we're letting him drive through Rome like that? I was like, yeah, man. So yeah, so he we saw behind the scenes stuff of him driving the motorcycle, so that's cool, and we know he can ride, right? So um that's what I'm looking forward to. It sounds like they've gotten a lot more of the practical stunts back, which is cool in my book. Um, yeah, so they're gonna have a little bit more box office clout to it, and I thought that Brie Larson was playing um, the brother of the guy that died, Chris, right? Why am I drawing a blank on everybody's names today? Um, Paul Walker. I thought she was playing the sister of Paul Walker, but from what I hear, it's not that case. I don't really care. Um, I just want to go watch the Fast and Furious movie, turn off my brain, and enjoy the action. Not the cartoonish action like going into space, but hopefully high quality action like they had for number 5. There, that's better, right? Okay. Dungeons and Dragons is out this week, guys. And my straight out of the theater reaction is up on the channel. And my full review is out this morning. So there you go. Um, Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves star Chris Pine on the big budget, old fashioned movie making and magic behind the film. This is cool. Man, when I was looking at the red carpets and these premieres, look how short, like, I know I shouldn't say this because she's probably very sensitive about it, but I had no idea that Sophia Lillis was this short. She's 4'9", and that doesn't translate in the film at all. They photographed her so she almost looks like the same height as the rest of the cast. But I was looking at it, I was like, oh yeah, she's short. Wow. Anyway, I shouldn't point that out. That's not very rude of me. I like her as an actress, so and she's good in the movie. Chris Pine was talking about this. He said, I have to like the script. Okay, well, yeah, of course you have to if you're going to sign on to do the film. But for me, it was the fact that Dungeons and Dragons felt earnest and heartfelt and grounded. It didn't feel jaded, cynical, or meta or postmodern. It was just a big budget, old fashioned movie making, that kind of feeling of Princess Bride, Willow, and the never ending story, and all the stuff I used to watch as a kid. Yeah, that's exactly it. Um, that's very well put, Chris Pine, because it's just a lot of fun. And it's a movie that's that action adventure kind of ride. And it doesn't have a lot of other stuff shoehorned into it, like thoughts about women being power figures or anything like that. It just is what it is. Like Michelle Rodriguez is a barbarian. You know, it's not like they don't go over their out of their way to point that out to you. They don't say she's a warrior and she's awesome. Like, no, she's just there and she's a warrior. It's cool like that. They don't indulge in that kind of BS, right? Um, yeah, and it's funny. There's a lot of funny moments in this. You think that they played some of the jokes in the trailers, uh, and you think like, oh, when I see that in the movie, it won't be as funny. But then they do more with it, and it pays off. So it's kind of like, I actually kind of want to watch Dungeons and Dragons again. And I haven't said that for a movie in a while. Um, yeah, good cast, and I hope they can make more. The budget I heard though was reported around 140 to 150 million. Wow. I hope it makes it back. I hope it does. It's getting lots of positive word of mouth, so it's going to be like fighting John Wick for the number 1 spot. John Wick made like 70 million last week, opening weekend. So John Wick will probably make about 40 million this week, 35 to 40 million. Can Dungeons and Dragons beat that? Hmm. I hope so. I hope Dungeons and Dragons makes 50 million. It should. Uh, it's just a nice, pleasant surprise of a movie. That's what I'll say. I've championed it enough, guys. We'll talk about it more maybe on Friday. I'll do some spoiler reviews for it. Yeah, because see, she was always standing in the background, so it's like the perspective. You're just like, oh, she's further away, right? So she's supposed to look a little bit smaller, but yeah, the way they photograph it, Michelle Rodriguez was good in this too. She really was. Yeah, see, she's standing in the forefront here. Uh, you would just never think that she was that small. And I said that I wouldn't point that out of a courtesy, and I seem to be going back to it. Daisy Head there is the villain. I posted a short about that yesterday too. She's really good as the villain. Um, very menacing. Yeah, she is a good actress. I want to see a lot more from her. Dungeons and Dragons, guys. Go and see it this weekend if you can. I totally recommend it. Okay. Oppenheimer comes out this year, guys. It's going to be one of people's most anticipated films. Matt Damon says Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer is 3 hours, so we got a runtime. Now, this is a contentious issue for me. Runtime is something that I've been struggling with. Actually, it seems to be the motif of the year so far, about the runtime. So, 3 hours long for Oppenheimer. What was Dunkirk? Dunkirk was pretty long too, right? It's 3 hours. It's fantastic. Damon said, revealing that he's seen Oppenheimer. Killian is phenomenal. He's everything that you wanted to be, Damon said. Okay. So yeah, Damon's been out promoting Air, and I guess somebody asked him about Oppenheimer. I do want to see it because it is Christopher Nolan, and Cillian Murphy there, I think he's going to knock it out of the park. 3 hours though. Ooh. I guess they do have to cover a lot of material. Huge cast. Huge cast. Emily Blunt, Robert Downey Jr., Matt Damon, Florence Pugh, Gary Oldman, Alden Ehrenreich, David Dastmalchian, Jack Quaid, Josh Hartnett, Kenneth Branagh, Matthew Modine, Casey Affleck, Rami Malek. Oh my God. Sweet Jesus, that's a stat cast. I'm looking forward to seeing what Emily Blunt does in this as the kind of like the wife. And you know Nolan, he's the guy that's always championing the IMAX experience, saying that it's the only way that you can see films. Well, I don't know anything about that, but I do want to see, because there's that inner struggle of him, like, should I make it or shouldn't I? There's somebody's going to make it anyway, so it's kind of like, yeah, I want to see that struggle, that fight, that inner turmoil, and it looks like Cillian Murphy's captured that in the trailers that we've seen. Yeah, there's Nolan with his precious IMAX camera. I just, I appreciate cinematography. Don't get me wrong. I'm not with Cameron and Nolan that it's all about, and how big it looks. I'm not, because as I say all the time, most people watch it on this. I don't know how people watch it on this, but people watch movies all the time on their phones, and it's kind of like, well, your IMAX doesn't make a huge difference on that. Anyway, Oppenheimer, still looking forward to it. It comes out June, right? Oppenheimer comes out July 21st. Sorry, July 21st. 3 hours. Yeah, really looking forward to that one. Okay, let's take some live comments here. What do I got to do here, James? Let's scroll that up. Okay. So Chris Schober says that what? Somebody's a bad director? Who's this? Ryan Johnson is a what? Huh? Black Panther 1 bombed at the Chinese box office, says Bifer. Um, yeah, it did. Right? No? They erased John Boyega from the Star Wars posters. Little Mermaid got no chance in China. You think so, huh? I hope that it does. Um, I hope it does. I hope that Disney doesn't have Kathleen Kennedy or Ryan Johnson direct the upcoming Star Wars movie for 2025. I don't even think we're going to get a Star Wars movie in 2025. They're going to announce that they're going to try to make one, and they'll say, well, this person's developing the script. And then for some reason, it's going to take to the end of 2024 for them to complete that script. It's just ridiculous. I have no trust or faith. We'll talk about Star Wars here in a few minutes on the show. Bruce was arrogant and got into trouble as a kid in Hong Kong. Okay, Tarantino merely parodied Bruce as tribute. I mean, the film is a sliding doors moment. No one beat Bruce Lee and Sharon Tate parasitally. Yeah, I'm talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, it's just yeah. I heard those reports too. Like of Bruce was there wasn't like an arrogance to it. I like Bruce Lee movies and movies that portray like him. I do like him. I just I don't turn my nose away from those reports. Right? I don't. That's why I never had an issue with it in Tarantino's movie. Oppenheimer is my most anticipated this year. They have recreated the explosion without CGI. Oh yeah, Arglass. I heard that they recreated it. So I don't know how they did that, like to have that mushroom cloud effect. But I can't wait to see it if they did it like on a smaller scale or something. And you know that Nolan is going to show us it, right? He's going to show it all in its IMAX glory. Bifer says Dune Part 2 is my most anticipated this year. Yeah, mine too, Bifer. I think Dune Part 2 is probably my most anticipated. Because that's where the most interesting stuff happens in the Dune story, for me at least. When they start disrupting the spice flow and the Emperor comes down on the Harkonnens, saying, I shouldn't have trusted you and stuff like that. That's the more interesting stuff for me. The romance stuff, okay, whatever. And then when Fade, I want to see what Fade does, like Austin Butler. Because I think it's going to be awesome. Anyway, let's continue on here. Indiana Jones. Let's talk about some Cannes. Cannes coming up pretty soon, right? Cannes Festival, Cannes Movie Festival. And it's being reported that Indiana Jones 5 is going to debut at Cannes this year. So, May 16th to the 27th. So it's still like a month and a half away, almost 2 months away still. Yeah? Dial of Destiny. Harrison Ford, Phoebe Waller-Bridge. What the heck was who the hell is that guy? I wanted to follow Harrison's own lead and simplify and simply deal with it straight on, Mangold said. This is not a movie about a hero in his twilight years who's called back into action. It's more than just his bones might ache. It's that his soul might ache, or some of his optimism or sense of fighting in the world that has evaporated, says James Mangold, the director. Well, yeah, James Mangold also did Logan, right? So people are really looking forward to seeing what he does with that. Yeah, enough with the I'm old jokes. Enough of that. They did that with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And I got my fingers crossed for this one too. I want this one to knock it out of the park. Give us a proper ending for this. That's the way I look at it. Killers of the Flower Moon may also be at Cannes, from what I heard. But it's getting an October release date. This is that Martin Scorsese, Leonardo DiCaprio $200 million project for some reason. $200 million. But it's got a big cast. It's going to be on Apple TV Plus as well, from what I understand. Uh, yeah, which is being produced as an Apple original films and will begin streaming on Apple TV Plus at an unspecified date. But a historical drama about the serial targeting and murder of members of the oil-rich Osage tribe, which opened in limited theaters October 6th, and then we'll have a wide release October 20th. So we're finally getting this movie. It seems like it's been in production for like, it seems like I talked about this last year too. But Scorsese, hey, it's, you got to always take a look at what Scorsese's doing, even if it's like not necessarily something that you want to watch, like The Irishman. Like the 4 hour cut of that is just. I like The Irishman, but it was kind of like I've never found the desire to go back and watch it again. And I like Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. Killers of the Flower Moon. He's back working with Leonardo DiCaprio. Most of us will see it October 20th this year. So, yeah. Yeah. We'll be looking at that. And then it'll be on Apple TV Plus with like a $200 million budget. Good luck with that, guys. Yeah, best-selling book. It unfolds in 1920s Oklahoma and depicts the serial murder of members of the Native Americans. Ooh, that's not going to be fun for me to watch. And the investigation into the string of brutal crimes by the FBI. So it may have some topical stuff to do with it. Yeah. Arglass says, I haven't watched The Irishman. The runtime has a lot to do with it. Yeah, I think you can watch The Irishman in installments. You can watch it like in hourly installments. And that's a problem too with the movie. It's got pacing issues. When you go over 3 hours, you have to call in pacing. This could be cut out? Why wasn't this cut out? Why do we Zack Snyder, I'm looking at you. Why do we have like a 30-minute epilogue? Right? Like the movie ends at 3 hours and 30 minutes or something, but now we got 30 minutes of what? What? Oh, kind of like that kind of stuff, right? Chris Schober says, isn't Kathleen Kennedy and George Lucas directing the new Indiana Jones movie? No, George Lucas is out. He's not. He doesn't even have a story credit for the new Indiana Jones movie. And Kathleen Kennedy's not a director. She's a producer. She's only producing it. It's James Mangold. He did Logan. So I'm looking forward to that. You know, I am. What's next? Star Wars. Oh, we're talking about Star Wars. Let's get into this Star Wars headlines here. Just a couple ones. Because Star Wars Celebration is just around the corner. A couple of weeks from now, right? 2 weeks. And I guess there's some panels that they've told people that are going to be there. And does it get everybody excited as Star Wars fans? For me, I got to tell you, no, it doesn't get me excited. For some of the reasons that I said. They'll announce a movie for 2025, and they'll say that the person's working on the script, but it'll take a year and a half for them to complete the script for some reason. It's like, what the hell is going on? And then we're going to have to shoot it in 3 months and get it out through post-production in 5 months for you guys to see it in 2025. I don't see it happening. I don't. Anyway, here's some of the panels. Friday, April 7th, Lucasfilm Studio Showcase. Okay. Current crop of live-action filmmakers will be joined by special guests to discuss the many current and upcoming Star Wars adventures, including The Mandalorian and Andor. So they should be announcing whatever movie is going to come out on the first day, April 7th. You got a making of Andor season 1 panel, and Andor by far has been the best Star Wars we've seen since like Rogue One. I would say. No, that's false. I liked Mandalorian season 2 and 1. But when you think about it compared to Andor, Andor's just on that other level. Because it's more about the characters and the drama. It's not all about um, you know, visual effects and stuff like that. Making of Andor season 1, I'll be kind of curious to see what they have about that. Ahsoka, yeah, I'm very excited about that, to see what Grand Admiral Thrawn's going to be about. Hopefully they give us the cast, who's playing him. Here's what you need to do with the Ahsoka, and this is burning out a lot of people, especially now that it's come to light for Mandalorian season 3. I want the Ahsoka series to be about Ahsoka. I want the Mandalorian series to be about the Mandalorian. I don't want to have a whole hour-long episode about Dr. Pershing. The show is called The Mandalorian, so the show better be about Ahsoka. I don't want to watch a show called Ahsoka, and then for like 2 episodes, it's about some person that works under Grand Admiral Thrawn that's upset to, be there, kind of thing. It's like, no. Make it about Ahsoka. Don't have these. And they could have easily fixed what was going wrong with Mandalorian season 3 in editing. Chop that Pershing story up into little tidbits and sprinkle it out. Don't just have one little side story, right? But they can hear the vocal outcry from fans right now complaining about Mandalorian. So hopefully they have time to fix that for Ahsoka. I hope they do. The Star Wars High Republic panel. I don't really care about that. That's about books and stuff, right? A book series, The High Republic. 15th anniversary panel. Clone Wars. Oh yeah, we got to lead up to Clone Wars. I just started putting together, guys, if I'm feeling better tomorrow morning, we are going to be watching Attack of the Clones at 9:50. We'll be watching Attack of the Clones. I thought I was feeling better today, and I started talking, and then all of a sudden it started to build back up in my... I want my voice back. Anyway, villains of the sequel trilogy. Snoke. Do you want to watch a panel about Snoke? If you want to, there's a panel for you there. I don't really care about Snoke. A look back at Obi-Wan. What? Of all the swing and misses? Like, again, there it is. Obi-Wan. Why isn't the show about Obi-Wan? I don't want to see a show about Reva. Right? If you put the focus on Obi-Wan, it would have been far better. I'm complaining. Jeez. James, why are you complaining? Lucasfilm Publishing, more stories. Some more stories there from, Bad Batch is going to be on Monday. I need to get into the Bad Batch. Is anybody watching the Bad Batch? Is it something that I need to watch Clone Wars first or anything like that? If I just pick up the Bad Batch at the first season, will I be able to follow it and figure out what's going on? They got a comics panel. Visions season volume 2. I never watched the first one either. And I think that Visions may be something that I may like. So I'll have to sit down and watch that someday. Yeah. How Star Wars is trying to fix the rise of Skywalker. Yeah. Well, it was known that they just made the sequel trilogy on the fly. They didn't have a plan. Very, very bad filmmaking approach. And they paid the price for it. They shattered the fan base, and they made a very weak film in The Rise of Skywalker. And I saw a treatise about this last night. Somebody put together this postulation that everything in Mandalorian is going to be driving towards cloning Snoke. And that's how they're going to slightly try to smooth things out from the plot errors that just J.J. Abrams gifted us with his mystery box. That's how they're going to plan to fix The Rise of Skywalker. I don't know if it'll work, but that's what I also believe that's what they're trying to do. Okay. Chris Schober says, we have gotten a 4-hour cut of Star Wars Duel of the Fates movie with Chris Terrio. That was a bummer. We should have gotten one. Oh, yeah. Pfeiffer says, should Bo-Katan and Mando become lovers? I don't know. I hope they don't make Bo-Katan a bad guy, but I think she's got her own motivations. I think she wants to restore Mandalore. She wants to use the Mandalorians there to help her, which means she wants the Darksaber back, which means she'll fight Mando. But they can turn it into kind of like a Red Sonja, Conan kind of thing, where they fight each other, and then they fight each other for so long they fall in love. They could do that. One episode about a giant bird stealing a kid. For what? Ahsoka? Yeah, oh God. Don't get me started. Chris Schober said, I heard that Ahsoka Season 2 has already been greenlit for a second season, and Season 1 hasn't even been released yet. No, I haven't heard anything about that. But yeah, Star Wars is dancing on thin ice here. It's starting to, I don't know how, but it's starting to overstay some of its welcome with people. Okay, let's talk about some TV headlines here. Daredevil Reborn. Set photos reveal first look at Kingpin's return. Vincent D'Onofrio is going to be back, and we got a set image of him here, just in a suit. Okay, cool. Our first look at Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk. Now, I don't know. I started watching Hawkeye. I watched the first episode a week and a half ago. And I just haven't been interested to go see the second episode, which just sucks because I do like Haley Steinfeld. It's just the premise. Well, I'll force myself to finish watching Hawkeye, I suppose, because he does appear in it, right? So I don't know how they're going to tie all that together. How they're going to explain it. It's comics. There's an easy way for them to explore it, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the Daredevil Born Again series. Because I do like Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. So, just some confirmation that he is back. Oh, yeah. The Night Agent. This is a series on Netflix. I was just scrolling through the Netflix pages last night before I went to sleep, and I saw this was trending. The Night Agent. Like a political thriller. Has anybody checked this out? On Netflix? If you have, let me know what your thoughts are, because it caught my eye. Kind of like that agent that has to deal with a lot of the cloak and dagger kind of stuff. And how they have those little promos at the beginning of everything. I was watching and it's like, I may have to check this out. The Night Agent. It's on Netflix. So, yeah. There's more than one traitor, and it's got Hong Chow in it, right? She was in The Whale. Yeah, I want to check that out. All right, what's next? For more TV headlines, Secret Invasion finally gets a release date on Disney Plus. Okay, so we're coming full circle here, guys, with the release date of Secret Invasion with Samuel L. Jackson and Emilia Clarke. Secret Invasion will be out. It will take place during the blip about the Skrulls. Will debut June 21st. June 21st, Secret Invasion. So we should probably be getting a trailer or teaser or something for that, an official one, soon. You would think. June 21st. Hopefully it's good. This is still under that old premise of quantity over quality that now Bob Iger wants to marshal in, right? He wants to cut back on all of these series, and he wants to get back to quality, which I think is the right approach. It totally is. The Night Agent is a great show, says Arglass Vikings. Okay, good. I'll try to check it out because it did look interesting to me. A Weaver says, "Hi guys, late to the party." Hey A Weaver, how's it going? It's fashionable to be late. Says yeah. Is that all for TV headlines? No, we got one more here. The Penguin series casts Clancy Brown as Salvatore Moroni. Cool. We just saw Clancy Brown in John Wick Chapter 4. I mean, he's a top talent. Come on, he's the Kurgan from the Highlander movies. Come on. Or movie. He was only in one. And then he got his head chopped off. But, yeah, great talent. Yeah, joining the Penguin series, that's cool with Colin Farrell there. Because Colin Farrell's Penguin is going to try to pick up the mantle from, not Maroni, Falcone, right? You know how there's two big bosses, Falcone and Maroni. And Maroni was played by Eric Roberts in the Nolan movies, right? So that's a good casting. He'd be a menacing bad guy. But could he appear in... Oh, yeah, he could be in the Batman 2 as well. That would be cool. Good casting. And I liked him in John Wick Chapter 4. Yeah, because I'm sure Maroni will have problems with Penguin trying to pick up Falcone's mantle, right? Because Maroni was second in line or something. He was the next... His organization was next in line or something like that. So, like, them dealing with all the criminal underground and with a powerhouse like Clancy Brown in there, I'm even more hyped, man. Even more hyped. Okay, it's hard to believe Clancy Brown was the Kurgan. Yeah, truly was. It was a good show. All right, guys. I know that there was a trailer released this morning for Elemental. I'm aware of it. I did do a trailer reaction for it. It'll be up on the channel later today, called Grumpy Man Reacts to Elemental. So pay attention for that. That'll be up later today. All right, where are we at? I guess we got some time here to look over the old Twitterverse. Elemental. Yeah. Hey, I've said it before. You know my approach to those. I'm a grown man. Why do I need to watch a kid's movie? Anyway, let's see what's trending out here. Okay, I don't know what the heck that is. The first official cast... What? The official cast for Asteroid City. The official trailer for Wes Anderson's Asteroid City will be released tomorrow. Oh yeah, this is a huge cast. Jason Schwartzman, Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks, Jeffrey Wright, Tilda Swinton, Bryan Cranston, Edward Norton, Adrian Brody, Liev Schreiber, Hope Davis, Stephen Park, Rupert Friend, Maya Hawke, Steve Carell, Matt Dillon, Hong Chow, just talked about her, Willem Dafoe, Margot Robbie, Tony Revolori, I don't know who those two people are, Jake Ryan, but we know who Jeff Goldblum is. Yeah, Asteroid City. What was the premise about this again? Asteroid City. It was like an asteroid that was going to hit the Earth, but it's not going to be like Don't Look Up, though. It's based off a book, romance comedy. I read the premise once. The film follows the transformative events that occur at an annual Junior Stargazer convention in 1955. Okay. Stargazing convention. What, they find an asteroid? Huh. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll get a trailer for it tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Official poster. So we know it's a period piece. That's why it looks like this. Stargazing. Succession.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it. It's fantastic.
How long is it?
It's 3 hours. And Killian is everything you would want him to be.
Okay. So yeah, there's a quote from Matt Damon. Yeah. Cool, man. Oppenheimer. Harris Dickinson on CR Man. Okay. The first song for Beau is Afraid has been released. Beau is Afraid, I think, is going to come and bomb, which sucks. Because I like Joaquin Phoenix. Ari Aster, right? This is Ari Aster, the guy who did Midsummer and Hereditary. I still got high hopes for it. Avatar The Way of Water is now available on VOD. Cool. Luke Thompson. Happy birthday, Lady Gaga. Oh, it's Lady Gaga's birthday today. We just did a story about her yesterday. We saw some Joker 2 images. Feud with women. Jennifer Aniston reportedly said that comedy has evolved, movies have evolved. Okay, yes. Reportedly said that comedy has evolved and movies have evolved. Oh, that's very insightful, Jennifer. Thank you. We're going to watch Jennifer this Friday, guys, and Murder Mystery 2 here on the channel, 1 p.m. Come join us. So, yeah. Now, that's a little tricky because you have to be very careful, which makes it really hard for comedians because the beauty of comedy is that we make fun of ourselves. White Lotus Season 3 will take place in Thailand. Yeah, we know that. Yellow Jacket's first episode was watched by nearly 2 million people. Beau is Afraid. April 21st, Ari Aster. Yeah. Okay. Florence Pugh is going to be on Hot Ones. You guys watch that Hot Ones show? It depends on who it is, who's on there. Florence Pugh, okay. Artie Frauchen has been cast as a major role in Daredevil Born Again. Okay. Cold Wallet. Oh, Jesus. We talked about this yesterday, too. Jonathan Majors has been charged with multiple misdemeanor counts. And this story is evolving, guys. And it's not looking good for Jonathan Majors. They say they got undeniable evidence. Then why haven't you shown it to people so that he's not in jail and they're setting for him a court date for him to appear in May? Really? It's going to take that long? It's bummer news, and I'm keeping my eye on it because it sucks. Liv Tyler is returning. Yeah, we started the show with that. That's good. And so, yeah, you kind of have to assume that Mark Ruffalo is going to make an appearance in this, right? Stephen Wynn, Ali Wong received acclaim for Electric in Netflix's Beef. Beef? I didn't see that trending on Netflix yesterday. Killers of the Flower Moon. Questlove will direct live-action hybrid Aristocats. Oh, God, Jesus. No. You know, I was hoping that after Little Mermaid, they would pump the brakes on these live-action stuff. Because I saw... If you haven't seen the Snow White live-action images, it doesn't look good, man. It's very the color of the blue, it doesn't look good for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Rachel Zegler, I know some people aren't sold on it. Aristocats, really? I mean, Lady and the Tramp came and went. Nobody saw it. No one talked about it. So do you have to make like a CG version of the Aristocats? I was really hoping they would pump the brakes on that kind of stuff. No one talks about the Lion King. Other than like the original cartoon version, right? Yeah. E. Weaver says, I like Hot Ones. Sean is a great interviewer. They just released the YouTube Trolls 3 Band Together. Okay. A Weaver says Adam Sandler just got Mark Twain Award. Very funny speeches from him and his friends. Yeah, I heard that he got that award. I haven't seen his speeches. Maybe I'll look it up at when I have my breakfast here. Hot Ones is dumb. The celebrities can't eat spicy food. I like the Gordon Ramsay one, where he called out the actual cook on like how well they wings were actually cooked. Yeah, Hot Ones is funny. I like Hot Ones. Sean is great. Yeah, Jenna Ortega and Pedro Pascal were good on. Oh yeah, I heard that Jenna Ortega was recently on there. I'll have to take a look for that one. Everybody wants to be a cat. Rachel Ziegler doesn't look good. A cat's the only cat who knows where it's at. My nephew loved Aristocats. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it turns out. New poster for 1001. Tiana Taylor. Don't know what the heck that is. Khan has still partnered with TikTok for a second consecutive year. Although I heard that could be on thin ice because TikTok is getting all this bad press right now in the US. It might get banned. Hey, you know what? If TikTok gets banned, I got no problem with that. Because it'll be just one less social media thing that I got to look at. And hey, I can weigh in here. I don't like TikTok. I thought I did at first. Yeah, it's addictive scrolling through stuff. It truly is. But TikTok, they've come out and said it's not a fair algorithm. It's not. It's not like YouTube where if I post something, it'll find its audience eventually, right? TikTok has said that no, they promote certain channels. They promote outright certain people. So I've seen like my growth on TikTok will go up to about 200 views and then it just stops. That's it. It's like a dead video after that. It's stupid. That's why I don't like TikTok either. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. So if it'll be no love lost here if they decide to cancel it. Pedro Almodovar's Strange Way of Life with Pedro Pascal and Ethan Hawke will not open the Cannes Film Festival. However, it is expected to screen during the festival. Okay, so it was slated to open. Yeah, it was like a Western with Ethan Hawke and Pedro Pascal, right? Or something like that. I want to check that out. Asteroid City will premiere at Cannes. Great cast. Huge cast. Martin Scorsese, Rebel Flower Moon will debut at Cannes. Okay, so yeah, there's confirmation. Indiana Jones will premiere at Cannes. Ana de Armas will host SNL. There's that beef. Ali Wong and Stephen Wen. Beef. Revenge is best served raw. Oh God, is it cannibalism again? Star Wars Celebration is trending. So maybe I'll make a short of that. I'm not going to publish a whole bunch of shorts like I did yesterday, guys. I just, I felt like a little over anxious. But I'll publish some more shorts later today. Okay, guys, that's it for me. Happy birthday to Halle Bailey yesterday. So, yeah, that's where we left off. Okay, so I hope that I'm feeling good enough tomorrow morning to do Attack of the Clones and get back on schedule with our franchise movie day. And then we'll watch Mandalorian at 1 p.m. tomorrow. So pay attention for that, guys. I know that I haven't posted the schedule. Hopefully we'll get back to that next week. I need to update the thumbnails for a whole bunch of stuff here too. So, oh yeah, there was the thumbnail for the menu. We'll watch the menu sometime too. We'll get that in there this week. Chris Schober says, do you think that the Luke's character will have connections with any of the upcoming TV shows? Luke's character? Luke's? Drawing a blank on that one. Or that Luke's character, like Star Wars Luke? Huh. It's like, oh. I don't see how... Maybe he'll have like a cameo in Ahsoka, but I don't see why she would go to him. Yeah, MLB starts Thursday. Yeah. Blue Jays. Come on. Maybe I'll wear my Blue Jays jersey on Thursday then. Yeah, that's what will happen. All right, guys. I think that's all I have, right? Let me just check my subscription page to see if there any new trailers did drop. Not that I'm seeing. Master Gardener with Joel Edgerton. Trolls Band Together. Okay, yeah, there's that Trolls 2 trailer. I'm not going to watch Trolls either. What's MLB? Major League Baseball. All right, guys. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for Attack of the Clones. I'm hoping my voice, it does feel better today. I only had to clear out the sinus passages there once or twice, I think. It did feel better though. So hit that thumbs up button, guys. Subscribe. Thank you for joining me. A Weaver, Art Glass Vikings, Chris Schober, Byford the Hobbit. I'll see you next time on Mirror Domains.